Hey ladies, it's Rachel Adams. Today I wanted to do a quick tutorial just showing you how to get out of your box and your comfort zone and use some colors that probably you aren't used to using. You know, a lot of times we all get so many palettes full of colors or that are stunning or beautiful, but we just are too unsure how to use or too afraid to use or just never get around to using them because we think that they're, very specific, or that they have to be worn in a certain way or for a certain thing, like a makeup party or a theme party or a costume party. But that's not always the case. There is a way to blend, your warms and your neutral palettes with some of the bolder, more bright, vivid colors to get something that's like can really be a going out, at night, a date look, and then a during the day kind of look. So there's a lot of options. So today I just wanted to show my viewers, my everyday women viewers, how to achieve this. And as you can see, I did it with a nice forest green, a very, very pigmented forest green. And some of the, I mixed it with some coppers and some dark browns and some black eyeliner. And really, it's totally appropriate for, I'm getting ready to go out. It's totally appropriate for that, for a date night with my husband, just at a restaurant. It's also totally appropriate, throw on a t-shirt, maybe a scarf, and walk to the grocery store. I mean, it's totally an everyday look that's achievable. So today's tutorial is really just let's get some of those colors, those untouched colors in your palettes. Let's get them out and get using them. Thanks so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Okay, to start out our look, I'm going to go in with the tapered blending brush. I use the Sigma E40, and I'm going to go in with a light brown color in the shade Beautiful from Younique. And I'm just going to sweep this into my crease and just a little bit onto the brow bone too. This just kind of defines the area that we're going to be working with and sets the eyelid and preps it to hold the rest of the color. And it's a transition shade, so what that basically means is when we put the rest of the colors, it's not going to just look like it's just plain on our eye. It's going to go on nice and smooth. Now I'm going in with a pencil brush with our dark chocolate matte brown in the color Infatuated, and I'm just going to press this into the outer crease of my eye. Not going to sweep this really all the way across, just really focus on the outer crease and really just get it blended in there. This is just a slightly darker shade than the color that we just did. And now I'm also going to put it on the very inner crease. So I'm going to leave the middle of my eyelid without any of this dark color. This is just to kind of give it some dimension and some darkness. We're going to pretty much cover up all of this anyway, but it'll show through just a little bit. So it's the little things when you're doing a look like this, I find. So once you feel like you've got that, go in and go ahead and do the next eye. Just really making sure when you're using a matte color to press rather than to just sweep. Sometimes when you can press it in, it'll last longer and give you the more desired color that you're looking for. So just kind of pat that in all over the outer crease. Like I said before, you don't have to worry too much about being precise with this step or blending even so much. You just want to make sure that you don't have any harsh lines. Now we're going to go in again with the inner crease and just really press that in, and again leaving the middle of the eyelid completely bare. Now I'm going to go in with a large shader brush. I'm going to be using the color Provoked, which is a Younique color. It's a matte brown. It's got a reddish undertone, kind of like a clay color. I'm going to sweep this in to my crease, and I'm going to go from the outer edge of my eye all the way to the inner eye, and I'm just going to blend back and forth in windshield wiper motions, really making sure to get a nice smooth even finish. When using a matte eyeshadow, it's really important to blend back and forth, and sweeping it in windshield wiper motions really helps to just pull the color evenly all the way across your lid rather than having the color stick together or look a little muddy. So again, blending. I'm not going to go too high onto my brow bone, but I am allowing it to sweep up to the brow bone. Now I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with the other eye. Again, just taking a nice amount of this color and just sweeping it back and forth from the outer edge of your eye to the inner eye. This is going to give you a nice foundation for this pop of green that we're doing today, because the orangey clay undertones of this color are the opposite on the spectrum to, you know, the greens, the blues, and it really just helps it to pop. Now I'm going back in with the tapered blending brush that we started with. This time I have nothing on it, and I'm just going to blend that brow bone. Not going too much into the crease, but just blending this out. As I said before, we didn't want to go too high on the brow bone, so whatever got up there, just we want to make sure that it's a nice gradual finish. So I'm going to do this with both eyes until I feel that it's completely blended out. Usually I judge this by looking straight forward and just making sure that there's no line. It should just be a gradient type of gradual growth in color. Now I'm going to go in with the flat eyeshadow brush in the color Dignified. This is going to be our main eyeshadow color today. You're going to want to make sure to use any synthetic bristled brush, because it's not going to hold the powder. It's going to hold the powder and transfer the powder, but it's not going to hold on to it, which is what we want. I get my brush wet when using a pop of color like this so that the eyeshadow goes on nice and creamy. So as you can see, I'm just placing this only on my eyelid. I'm not going really into the crease, and I'm not going above the crease. I'm just really patting this on until it's kind of, because it's a little tacky, it's a little wet, I'm going to pat it on until it starts to dry, and then you can sort of start to blend it. So again, now I'm going in with this eye. I'm just patting it in, making sure I get a nice even coverage with this color. And as you can see, this is such a beautiful color, and definitely one that is not used every day in my palette, so probably not yours either. But it's so, so pretty. So once you feel like you've gotten an pretty even coverage, you're going to want to let it sit and kind of dry for a minute. Because like I said, we started with it tacky. It can kind of move as you're applying it, so you just make sure that it's nice and even, and then again let it sit and dry for just a couple minutes. And if you see uneven spots, you can just fill them in quickly before the eyeshadow dries. Okay, now I'm going to go in again with the large shader brush, and again using that clay colored eyeshadow called Provoked. And this time I'm going to sweep it back again in the crease, and I'm just trying to edge out, really bring out that crease, make it pop, but also blend together this bright green and the brown tones that we've done before. So I'm just sweeping this in until I feel like I've got a nice shadow effect behind the green, and then we're going to blend it out, obviously. So again, really going in, highlighting that area. This stage always looks a little funky, kind of a little bit clownish, because before you blend it, you know, the colors look harsh, they look kind of ill-placed, and that's okay, because you're not going to leave it like this. Now again, we're going to go back with the tapered blending brush. You have to have a blending brush. It's just key. And I'm going to just sweep this. So as you can see, now it's getting higher than I would like, up onto the brow, but that's okay, because once we blend, we're going to blend it right off that brow area, and we're going to add the highlight, and it'll all just get blended into a pretty color. But blending is key for this look. So you're just back and forth, back and forth. I can't say it enough, and I'm getting sick of saying it. Again with the other eye, making sure that both eyes are even, that they have full coverage, and that they're completely blended. I have, again, like I said, a predominant eyebrow and brow bone, which is slightly under your brow, and so a lot of times the color can kind of sit either on top of or right under, and it doesn't want to blend as much. So I spend extra time just making sure that both eyes look even and together. Now we're going to go in back with the pencil brush and back with the dark chocolate matte colored called Infatuated from YOUNIQUE. YOUNIQUE's pigments are so highly pigmented. They're amazing to work with. Although I will say, when you're working with something so highly pigmented, it is very, very important, like I've said a million times already in this video, to blend, but also you will have some fallout. So I never do my face makeup before I do my eyeshadow. Just in general, that's a good rule, but especially when working with loose pigments. Now what I'm doing with this is I'm just doing exactly what we did before. I'm going in on the outer crease, patting this in,
and then also on the inner crease. What this is doing is just giving some dimension so we don't have just one flat block color of green on our eyes. Now I'm going to go in with a small shader brush with the color Sexy. This is one of my absolute favorite colors to work with. It's got a little bit of some pink undertones, and it's just so beautiful on most skin colors. And I'm just pushing this color up underneath my eyebrow and then just kind of blending it down. I'm not bringing it too far down, but I am making sure to cover that whole brow area. I'm not sure if this video is showing quite how beautiful this color is because the lighting is so very bright, but this color brings such a nice highlight to your eye. Now I'm going in with a flat angled brush with the color Provoked again, and I'm just going to sweep this underneath my bottom lash. This is just going to, again, tie in the colors and give us a nice finished look. I will be completing this look with a full eyeliner, but I like to just give my eyes some shading because it is a smoky eye. We want to make sure that it's nice and broad. Everything we do to the top, we want to bring some color down. Now it's on to my face. I'm using the BB Flawless foundation in the color Bisque. I'm using a flat top Kabuki brush, which is one of my favorites. And I'm just sweeping this all across my face, making sure to get a nice thin layer of full coverage. This foundation, I cannot say enough about this foundation. I absolutely love it. It's got a moisturizing component. It's got full coverage, but it's lightweight. You don't feel it. It doesn't sit on your face like very greasy all day. It doesn't move. It's so amazing. If you love foundation, or if you haven't found a foundation that you like, I highly recommend this foundation. It's so very versatile. Once you've got your face on, I'm going to do a little bit of contouring to just make this eye look pop. I'm going to be using the color Caramel for my contour, and I use a round top foundation brush to do this. So I'm going to just go in, etch out a harsh line, and of course I will be blending that harsh line out. The general rule is to go from the top of your ear down to your mouth, the corner of your mouth, and that's the angle that you should be doing with whatever face shape you have. So once I've got that line out, I just start buffing that baby away. So you just want to buff out all harshness. You just want to make this as smooth and as flawless as possible. And what better way to get a flawless face than to use the BB Flawless? Once you feel like your cheeks have been completely buffed out to where you want them, I do bring this color onto my forehead and a little bit under my chin as well. I will say again, I can't obviously stop talking about this foundation. It's so amazing. But what I love so much about it is that you saw how harsh that line was, but these colors just blend so beautifully together that it's, by the time I'm done blending it, I've got such a beautiful natural looking tan to my skin that I just absolutely love it. And it's not chalky. It doesn't get dirty looking or kind of cakey like some foundation can do after it starts drying. It just really stays moisturizing and blends. So now I'm on to my forehead. I'm just going to bring that color from my hairline slightly down. I do have a larger forehead, so I bring it down a little bit further. Now I'm going to go in with the highlight, and I'm going to use the lightest color of the BB Flawless Cream in the color Cream. I'm going to sweep this on the front of my jaw, making sure not to go underneath and not too high up on my face. Really just want to bring some attention to that jawbone. On a regular day, this is pretty much where it ended. I might not actually even do a highlight on my jaw, but for a color like this and I'm going out, I want to do a little bit more of an exaggerated, dramatic look. So I really want to bring some attention to that contoured cheek. So I'm going to be putting it not only on my jaw, but I'm going to focus all around my mouth as well. And sometimes what this can do is it can really just bring some focus to the apple of your cheeks, because you've done the contour, which causes the middle and your cheek, underneath your cheekbone, to kind of hollow out. And then if your jaw is highlighted and your cheek is highlighted, it causes that to really be sunken in, and you really look a lot thinner and a lot more striking. So now I'm going in with the blending bud, and this is the best way, in my opinion, to blend your makeup together. Making sure not to have any harsh lines of a highlight and contour, and just really fading all harsh lines and all color transitions together. I use a slightly damp blending bud, and I use two different ones, but for today's video I'm just going to be showing you the one. I have one that's large and one that's small. Now I'm going in with the powder brush, and I'm going to sweep a pressed powder all over my face to really just set all of this foundation. As I said in the beginning, BB Flawless is very weightless, so you can afford to have 3 different shades of this color on your face without, you're not going to be walking around feeling like you have a ton of makeup on. If you were using a different foundation, you might feel that way because they would be a lot more heavy. This is such a light foundation, it's amazing. Once this is done, I'm going to go in with the flat angled brush and I mix the color Corrupted, which is a dark matte black, and I mix it with our Glorious Primer, and this gives a nice gel eyeliner, and as you can see, it just sweeps right on it. It's beautiful. I love it. And it's a nice rich dark black color, which is also key. I'm just doing a slight cat eye, not too big, just kind of a winged tip actually, not a cat eye. And I'm just making sure to bring this, I'm only bringing the eyeliner halfway across my eye. I'm not really finishing it at my inner eye because I want to see all of this color. Sometimes when you bring a harsh line all the way across your eye, the focus then goes straight to the eyeliner and straight to your eyes instead of seeing the color. So on a look like this, I'm bringing the focus to the outside of my eyes, to the bottom of my eyes, but not all the way across. Now I'm just bringing this, I'm sweeping this loosely. This is wet, so I'm just kind of rubbing it in at the lash line. It's going to be a little jagged, it's going to be a little messy. That is okay because you're going to go back in and blend it out. Again, remember this is a smoky eye, so having color and some depth and warmth is okay. I go in with a Q-tip, you might use a brush, you might use your finger, whatever you want to do is fine. I like the Q-tip because it really smears it. So rub that bad boy around until you feel like it looks right, and voila. So as you can see, this look is stunning. It's so beautiful, it's so practical, it's not overwhelming, and it just gives your face a really nice pop of color. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you'll go out and try it. Message me or comment in below and tell me how you like this look. Thanks guys.